So if you're watching this, then I presume you've seen the initial two videos called Beginner's Tactical Guide and the Advanced Tactics Guide. If you've seen them, ideal. If you haven't, it doesn't hugely matter because you're going to see some more tactical movements, some more how-tos, and another guide that furthers on to that. So it would be helpful if you have seen the first two, but again, it doesn't overly matter. So if you're new to the channel, then welcome in. My name's Tosbell, I'm a veteran streamer and content creator. So please do give us a subscribe, a like, and I'm not going to keep talking, and we're just going to get into the game. All right, cheers, see you in a bit. So here we are in the shooting range. Here it is, look, shooting range. And this next tip, if you were, I didn't even realize this thing existed until after the second video I made. So on console, you want to click the two analog sticks, right? Notice at the bottom, press L or R analog stick to exit freely. Right, now I'm going to use the right analog stick. Way, look at that, moving around. So if I move back a bit, it's probably going to be a little bit easier, so I'm not blocked. There you go, look, click him again, wiggly wobbly. You get some right good old leans going on here. This can save your fucking ass. And do you know what? If I knew about this earlier, I would be using this a lot more. You lean a lot further than you do just in fucking... Look, that's just a touch. Or, way! Look at that! Christ. This would be incredibly useful in a lot of situations and definitely saved my ass. So there we go. Feel free to use that to your will. Click both analog sticks, right to left. Now, I'm in a smaller environment, so I can't move too far. So, get into an environment where you've got enough space. Here we go, look at that. How useful is that? All right, use it to peek, nice and quick. So I'm looking at the green targets there, look. Say like, I want to have a quick peek. There we go, there they are. Use that to your advantage. You can even go down, up, down, up. The up one just makes me think that I'm probably on tiptoes, but look, go down, move down to below target, above. Look at that, all around in a circle. Free lean, that's called. Use it to your advantage. You're welcome. Okay, so by popular demand, Commander Mode explained. The difference between Commander Mode and Quick Play is if you lose an officer, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, you can just go back to headquarters, restart. You could even restart the level if you wanted to. You can restart the level within the mission itself, and then just respawn and start everything again. In Commander Mode, that you can't do that. You have to go back to headquarters, and it classes as a fail. All right. Another thing to bear in mind is that an officer dies, he's dead. Another thing you need to bear in mind as well is that each officer, if I get out of the way, look at Cruz. Yeah, he's anxious. That's not ideal. We don't want anxious officers, but anxious isn't too bad. Okay, you can have content, which is like he's fine, whatever, he's happy. Anxious, and then it goes up to stressed, and then up for anything above stressed, that is pretty fucking... You're going to want to send them to therapy. Okay? Now, clearly, I've got Kimura Nguyen, whatever his name is, Nguyen, right? What's his name? Ethan, yeah, he's in therapy currently. 2 officers in therapy. Now, you see the numbers next to their head, all right? They're redded out, they're a little bit grayed out, but they got numbers next to them, haven't they? Yeah? What that means is how many missions it's going to take. So think of that as days. So how many missions it's going to take before they come out of therapy. So if I go into a mission, complete it, and come out happily, then that's going to go down to 1. After that, I've done another mission, they'll come out, they'll be out of therapy, then I can use them again. If you sack an officer, so if I go into here, look, I can fire him by holding triangle. That means that he's clearly sacked, but also it'll increase the stress of your whole team. So right here, he's already anxious, yeah? If I sack someone, he's then going to go up to stressed, because they're going to be all stressed, like, oh, I don't want to get sacked. Normal stuff, yeah? That's the kind of things you need to consider. You can't reset the mission. I know I've said that, I'm just going to re-explain it, but you can't restart, all right? You fuck it up, you go in for an S rank, and one of your officers dies, you can't reset it, you just end up going back to the headquarters. It's a long, convoluted way to do a reset, but you can still reset that way. But yeah, you just lose an officer, need to take into account stress. Now, if you don't want your officers to get stressed during the mission, then go non-lethal, because they won't get stressed. The more people you arrest and hit with non-lethal, the less stressed they're going to be. The more people that get killed, the more bullets that get fired, the more stressed they're going to be. It's pretty good, you know. It's pretty realistic. Your guys don't want to be taking lives; they want to be saving them, putting people away in prison, not just killing them. Doesn't matter how much of a nonce they are. All right. Now we all know that if any one of us went into the nonce mission and killed them all, we're not only going to come out content, we're going to come out happy. Doesn't quite take into account what these people have done. All right. Innocent until proven guilty, apart from the mission where it's innocent until proven dead because they're very obviously a fucking nonce. All right. Cool. Right. Moving on. Okay. So I got specifically asked to do a section on this, and that's what to do in a hectic environment, or what to do if there's unexpected contacts in a room. And the only way I can really explain that is by jumping into a mission. So let's jump in and we'll go from there. So 23 megabytes per second. Cheers. All right. We all know this mission. We've all done this mission at least once. We've all failed this mission at least once. Bear in mind you've got stairs there that you can use to your advantage, yeah? All right, so we're going to peek it. The first things first is we need to peek it. All right? When you're walking around, listen to what the other people are saying, yeah? Not necessarily your team, but you can hear the background noises, yeah?
We gotta book it soon, bro. They'll be coming.
Listen, yeah? That's an audio cue to say that they're possibly bad people, yeah? They're going to be coming soon. They're going to be armed. What are we going to do? Oh, he should have sorted us out, man. Shit like that. Brilliant impression. Those are the things you need to be taken into account when you're walking around. Listen to your environment. Don't just listen to what's going on in front of you. 360 coverage you need. You need to be listening to exactly what's going on so you can understand what's possibly behind the door that you're about to breach. Now, I know that there's possibly either a door or a doorway that could be open here. That's going to lead into a pretty shit situation. Okay? So what we'll do is we're going to have a look. That's the easiest thing to do first. Have a look. Also consider left-hand side. Okay, so that's open. Contact there, yeah? Doesn't know we're here. Now he does. Right? So we didn't know the door was going to be open, no. You need to be doing things like tactical movements very slow. This isn't Call of Duty. This isn't Battlefield. Everything is very slow. There's a reason you can't sprint, all right? Could I have used free lean to deal with that situation? Yes, but also, I don't really want my legs sat there ready to get shot up, yeah? So, right, I'm in free lean. Right, so I could be doing things like that, covering my movements, yeah? There's a hostage, so we probably should sort that out. Alright, so we don't know what else is behind here. We know that the left side is clear, so we're just going to walk in. Alright? Bear in mind contacts that could be slight right. I'm pretty sure it's clear, being that my team is just consistently walking in the way. I reckon he's in there. Right, I left. Pretty sure.
Got it bagged. Evidence good to go.
There he is, look.
They're buckled up and good to go.
You think you're gonna get out of this? Got nothing to do with this. I heard some shit over there. Get down.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, so I did use free lean then. Very helpful, apart from the door got in my face. Alright? So you don't know what's going to be around each corner anyway, so you need to consider that every environment could be incredibly hostile. Equally, it could just be full of contacts that do not have weapons on them, which means that they are civilians or pretending to be civilians. Even if they're pretending, still try and get the arrest. We all know this. This is simple shit now, isn't it? Simple stupid, yeah? Right. They could be using cover to their advantage, like that guy was, all right? He was sat behind the door to my left as I'm stood now, all right? So he's kind of using a little bit of cover to his advantage, but they could be behind a box. There's different things you need to consider, like have you got full metal jacket on, as in armor piercing, or have you just got hollow point? I mean, I don't think many people actually use hollow point. To be honest, I stick with armor piercing consistently. If I'm going for a headshot, it's going to kill him, hopefully. If I'm using hollow point, I've put a few bullets into someone and they've just looked at me and laughed. So that's a different thing you need to consider. every room you walk into, you need to pretend that you're blind, even if you already know what's behind the door. So say you've put the snake cam underneath, you've had a look around and you're going, all right, I'm pretty sure it's clear. Doesn't matter. They could be behind. I've done it before. The oil rig mission. All right, you walk in, you're like, oh, there's just some civilians to the left. The guys aren't in there. You walk in and you get perforated by a guy with an RPK. Yeah, it's not the most ideal thing in the fucking world. But hey, that's what we deal with. All right, let's move on and try and do some more explanations, all right? If my guys will get out of the way.
I got you. Don't worry.
Right, push them out of the way. Right, okay. All right, doors here. We don't know if it's clear or not. There's a lot of cover they could be using here, look. So I'm going to normal peek. Have a look around nice and slow. Where is he? Someone to my left. He's up. He's there. He's there. All right. Contact here. Oh, let's just fill him with lead. All right. Nice and easy. Let's just clear it so I don't have to deal with that situation when I come out of pause menu. Yeah. He was using cover, which means I'm going to need to put a few more rounds into him to put him down. Because I could be hitting the actual cover and the bullet not be going through it. Or I could be hitting him straight away. I did a couple more shots to make sure he's dead. Is this realistic? No. You're going to be putting one in and hoping that he drops. All right, this game is very good at being realistic, but at the same time, it has a lot of elements that are definitely not realistic. But at the end of the day, we're playing the game. We're not CTSFO. We're not fucking SWAT. All right, we don't need to be considering things like that. I've seen there's way too many veterans on here that play this too realistically and then end up getting fucked up. Oh, it's a game, mate. It's a fucking game. If you want realism, why did you leave the military? Yeah, all right. I fall short of it sometimes. On stream, you see me doing my own call-outs a lot. Mate, my team's AI. I don't need to be doing shit like that. All right? That's the different things to consider. If it gets too hectic, yeah? Say I'm getting too hectic, right? There's nothing wrong with getting back through the door. There's nothing wrong with a retreat. All right? Reorg. See what's going on. Check mag. Yeah, I've got less than half a fucking magazine left. So, let's do a bit of a change mag. Let's do a reorg. Make sure the team's nice and healthy. Reconsider your... Shush. Alright? Reconsider what you're doing. If your initial tactic's not working, bullets are flying at you, and the only point you can walk through is a choke point, go back. Reorg. Reorganize. Make sure that you're full of ammo. Make sure that your team's not overly hurt. And then go from there. Say red team's been hurt quite a lot, and blue team's nice and healthy. Take in blue team. Tell red team just to sit there. Hold them fast, yeah? Taking the other team with you that are nice and healthy. If that is the only point you can go through. You know, I've already proven that on this map, I've just gone up the stairs. I could just walk in through the front door. Not a good idea because you've got absolute 360 coverage of the wrong way. You know, they're looking down at you. You're in a complete shit situation down at the bottom of those stairs. But you can always just do it because you're like, oh, do you know what? I'm in a choke point here. I either go through one shit situation or walk in through a slightly less shit situation because they still think I'm at the door. All right? Consider that. Okay? To be honest, it's a game. It's one of those where every situation is going to be different. And this is one of those kind of games. The next time you load into this match, it's going to be different. So let's move on. The thing is, there are so many ways in which you can play this game and win. And there's so many ways that you can play this game and lose. My tactic of doing things will be different to your tactic of doing things. It will be different to Aiden P29's way of doing things. So my way might not work for you. Your way probably won't work for me. And Aiden's way won't work for me or you. Everyone plays a game differently. All right? It's not Call of Duty and it's not Battlefield 6, it's not Fortnite, there's no slide cancelling, there's no sprinting around, there's no rushing, there's no this, there's no that, and there's no of the other. Play this game differently and play this game how you want to play it. You know, this is just a guide at the end of the day, and I love the fact that this is getting attention on my channel, you know, and I love the fact that you guys watch this, but at the end of the day, play it how you want to play it. You know, I'm very much one of those try-hardy people that tries to do everything perfectly right, and there's been stages in the video where I've cut bits out because I've completely fucked up and re-recorded. This video is a second go, for example, because I fucked it up. This game is very, very, very inconsistent in a good way. And what I mean by that is I've done quick play and I've completed quick play and I found it pretty easy. I'm in commander mode now and it's almost like it stepped up 15 levels of what the fuck, you know? There's parts of commander mode where I'm like, shit, the hospital mission where there's 2 bombs and then you got to clear the area. How many times do you think I've done that? I've dedicated a full 5-hour stream to trying to do that, and I fucked it. Yet the first time I did it on stream and quick play, did it in the first go, and I was like, what, okay, that wasn't too easy. It wasn't too hard. Every way that you play this game is going to be different, and whatever works for you works for you. What I'm trying to show you is different ways to tactically move different buttons and what some things do, because if you're anything like me, you jump into the game and work out the buttons as they're going along, because the tutorial level on this game isn't the best, because it tells you to do things one way and you can't do things another way, so you can't learn it very well. It's a very open world, but small open world way of doing things. You have one route to go, but many ways in which you can go through that route, if that makes sense. I'm going to thank you, and I'm going to thank everyone else for watching this video up until now. If you're still watching up to now, then, mate, thank you very much. The last video, as of checking today, is at 4.3 thousand views, and for me, that's huge. I'm usually stuck in 50 view jail. So, honestly, thank you very much. If you liked this video, then please do press that thumbs up button, and please do consider subscribing. I'm trying to do weekly content. I also stream every Tuesday, every Thursday from 12 o'clock till 5 o'clock. So please do come along to stream. Even if you don't have an account, please just come along and say hello. It would mean the absolute world to come and say hi to you guys, because I know I act like a bit of a prick. I am a bit of a prick, but at the same time, I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. And, that's just the way it is. So thank you. Now fuck off.